WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacy and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Alright, I'm JR, Sparrow, host of West Virginia Commonplace. And what I'm doing real quick is for family and for everybody else. The lady right here that you're seeing on camera, I'm doing like a DJ, not DJ, a Vlad TV type interview. That's how I think I'm going to start doing quite a few interviews. You got to look over here, man. Don't be looking away and shit. So state your name and tell us where you're from.
My name is Roselyn Lizetter Higgins-Sparrow Cruz, and I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia, originally born in Columbus, Ohio.
All right, so being born in Columbus, Ohio, how'd that start? How'd you end up being born there?
Because it's where my mother had me.
All right, who's your father?
George Shaw.
All right, now, George Shaw, what was his nickname?
Bevo.
Now, what was the situation like between your mom and Bevo? Were they together?
I don't know. It's obvious they had me, they were doing something.
But my question is, like, you don't remember them ever being in a relationship while you were alive, right?
No.
They didn't even get down. Did they get down with each other? Did they, like, talk or conversate?
Not that I know of.
He didn't hand over no money for you?
Yes, he did. He gave the money to Annie Jennings, which is my mother's mother.
All right, so tell me about that side of your family. So your mother is Darlene?
Darlene Higgins.
Graham. We'll just say that at the end of the day.
Graham.
Darlene Graham with her name. And her mom is?
Annie Jennings.
All right, but she got married and became a toller, right?
I don't remember.
Where was Annie from? Wasn't she from Princeton, West Virginia?
I thought I'd say Princeton, yeah.
Right. And then how did she become a toller? When did she marry him?
She was a toller to start with.
Oh, so her last name's Toller. She married Jennings.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the preacher guy that I see in the picture, that mean-looking man with the glasses on?
The real tall, skinny guy. Yeah.
Now, what happened to him? He just died?
All I know, he was in the service. I don't know what kind of service.
But he was alive when you were a kid, though, a teenager, right?
Yeah, I stayed in his house with Mama Mary and my brother Robert and what was Tommy? I guess Tommy was my cousin. I don't know.
All right, so why in the early part of your life did you never end up with your mom?
I guess because she was young.
All right, and what's the phrase that we use out here? She was out there?
In the streets.
And no disrespect to her or anything.
No.
But it was more or less one of those deals where she just was young and immature.
Right.
So, her father stepped in with you?
Yeah.
And what was his name?
Robert Duke Higgins.
All right, and who
He was married to Annie at one time. That's when they had Darlene.
Right. And then after that, he went Swayze. He divorced her ass, right?
Yeah, he divorced her.
Okay.
And then he married this lady named Catherine.
All right. And what happened to Catherine?
She took him for everything he was worth. I guess, I don't know who divorced who, but then he married this nice lady named Ella Mae.
Right, and Ella Mae was one of the first high yellow people in y'all's family, right?
Did I?
She was really light complected.
Yeah.
Nice lady, because I met her. So growing up, your family was kind of divided. Like you knew people, but you didn't meet all your family, right?
Right.
And with your mother, and I'm asking this as a question, she was a bit like Elizabeth Taylor. She got married quite a bit.
Yeah.
So your next set of brothers
What?
are Pinnells.
Yeah.
And what are their names?
My first brother was Robert Higgins.
Okay.
He was born a year before me. And then later on, Darlene moved to Ohio with her current husband at that time, William Pinnell.
Now, was William Pinnell from Ohio?
I think it was from Lynchburg.
Hey, so he was from Lynchburg.
I guess.
So she just probably moved there, job opportunity, something went on probably with her and her dad. That's why she went up there.
I guess.
Because like when you look back on them times, because I did a little research, it seemed like there were more jobs up there.
Maybe it was.
It was like you went Lynchburg, Roanoke, and then you went to Columbus. West Virginia was an afterthought. You passed through here, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could get there.
Yeah.
Back then, a good way. So you got ties in West Virginia, Ohio, and Virginia.
Yes.
Okay. So you get to a certain age and you leave your grandfather's house, right?
In Columbus. When I was 4, I came to Lynchburg. Robert Higgins was getting ready to divorce his other lady named Catherine. And they were scared that Catherine was going to jerk me up. And I wouldn't see nobody. So they came and got me. And then I went to school at Armstrong School from 2nd grade up until 6th.
All right, and then after that, what school did you go to?
Lincolnwood.
All right, so you grew up in Rivermont. You grew up on that side of town. I got you.
Yeah, Vermont.
So basically, you grew up on the north side of Lynchburg, we'll just say.
Okay.
So that's how it would look on the map. So you're a Rivermont person. That's your part of Lynchburg. Because the Seven Hills, Rivermont's your area.
Yes.
Okay, Victoria Avenue, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's where you're from. Now, growing up over there, you went to school. And while you were in school, the early part of being in school, was there anything different about you?
Not at first.
All right. Did you ever have any times where you didn't learn properly or...
Yeah, there, even in kindergarten, I remember I didn't learn the functions of a kindergarten. And due to that, they just passed me. Back in those days, you were either smart or retarded. It was no in between.
So there won't no autism, there won't no way to... a learning disability, basically. We
Right.
We won't say retarded, we'll say intellectually disabled.
Yeah.
So back then, where there won't nobody to truly help you, they just passed you.
Yeah.
Or they would...
I tried real hard. That's why they passed me. I would memorize quite a bit of material. But when it came to math problems like A, B, C, and D, I would get A, miss B, get a little bit of C, and miss D.
Okay, that's understandable. So you had a noticeable disorder, but over time you got functions and stuff. You learned how to write, read, and do
Yeah.
math. So you got, by the time you were probably 5th or 6th grade, you had a basic education.
Yeah.
But you probably weren't... I'm thinking, like, the more that I've talked to you, obviously you're my mom, but the more I've seen, you never got a certain maturity to you.
Right.
So, whereas you could be a 12-year-old, you probably were as mature as a 6 or 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay. And they would gaslight you, which I explained to you what gaslight means. They'd be like, oh, that's just Roselyn or something like this growing up, right?
Yeah.
So with them gaslighting you, you thought that was a good comment or it was something cute, right?
Yeah.
So you just played along and, you got your butt beat.
Yeah. Because I had a big mouth.
Right. Being a little hard-headed, which we
And I was rebellious, too.
Oh, well, you sound
because I couldn't understand why I couldn't stay in Ohio with my grandfather, but yet I had to come to Lynchburg, which was Darlene's mother and her stepfather. Luster.
Okay, now with being with them, was it more structure in that household, or did you feel more love in Ohio than you did coming to Lynchburg?
More love in Columbus.
All right, and it was genuinely it was a home in Columbus. It was just a house in Lynchburg, basically, like the Luther Vandross song. You knew they cared, but Annie told her, from what I was told, and you can tell me if this is true or not, she was very strict.
Yeah, she was.
And she'd tear that ass up, excuse me for cussing, y'all. She'd tear your butt up for a
Yeah.
little bit of nothing.
Right.
She was disciplined about everything.
Yeah. And plus, we were church oriented. We really couldn't have no friends outside of church in the beginning. And then she kind of laxed up a little bit and as I got older. But we didn't do too much around her. She would tear our ass up.
All right, I got you on that. Now, you go on, you live with her, you get into your teenage years. You leave middle school, you end up going to...
Dunbar.
Dunbar?
Yeah.
For middle school.
No, Dunbar was the 10th grade back in those days.
All right, it was just 10th grade?
9th and 10th grade.
So junior high.
Yeah.
So junior high at Paul S. Dunbar. Good school. I know some people went there.
Yeah.
I know quite a bit of your people. And now it's just a full-on middle school.
Right.
So you go there. Are you still with Darlene? Are you still with Annie at this time, or are you with Darlene?
I'm with Darlene at this time.
Now, in Darlene's household, was it stable, or was it kind of like you didn't have to worry about your next meal, but was it someone there to help you with work, or was it expected you better just get your homework done and get out the way?
Well, I was taught to get my homework done, cook a little light dinner like hot dogs and french fries and pork chops and God help chicken, but anyway. But then I would have to wash the dishes a whole lot. And then it didn't leave too much time for studying. We had to go to bed about 9:30.
Okay, so you had to make sure you got that stuff done probably almost at school before you got home, right?
Yeah.
All right. And was your mom, Darlene, was she strict?
Not really.
So she was an opposite of Annie?
Yes.
She's kind of relaxed, because
Right.
I even said in my time with her, God rest her soul, she was with me. It seemed like her grandkids, she was more understanding.
Yeah.
Her kids, them her kids, she gonna be, because everybody's like that with their own kids. You go a little tougher on them. So growing up, you leave Dunbar and you end up over at EC Glass, right?
Yeah. 11 and 12th grade.
And that's the bigger school. And your brother Robert was a football player there, pretty good.
Pretty good.
And your other brothers, did they grow up with you all, or were they in Ohio?
A little bit of both.
So you kids kind of fluctuated around.
Yeah.
It was almost like a hot potato. Who's here, who's not? If you're the hot potato, you're here. If you're not the hot potato, you're gone, right?
Right.
So that kind of had to be a little, kind of make your self-esteem feel a little bit funny, because somebody's going to be a favorite and somebody's not going to be a favorite, right?
Right. Robert was the favorite. I had 3 brothers and I was the only girl. You would have thought that I get favoritism. Don't get me wrong. Andy was fair to a certain extent as far as I'm concerned. But the favoritism was Robert. He could do no wrong.
Right. And that's it. Him being the oldest, he set the example. He was the firstborn. Some people, it's weird in families. Sometimes it's the baby that's the best one, or people like the most, or some people, they like the oldest. Like, in my case, I never realized, Valen was smarter than me, or did better in school at the beginning, but at the end of the day, I became the favorite of everybody's.
Right.
And in my instance, the only reason I think that happened is because I was social.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, like in our culture, and this is for the audience and other people that are going to listen to us, in the African American culture we grew up in a middle class. You didn't come from a poor class.
No.
Because you didn't have to worry about a meal. Y'all had a house on Victoria Avenue. Everybody had things pretty much tight in how they were living and how they were doing stuff.
Right.
So it wasn't like you just went somewhere and y'all were on food stamps or something crazy like that.
No, we won't.
Y'all had money.
Yeah.
Or working class money,
Right.
which is the middle class.
Well, Andy worked at Mill and Rose as an elevator is. And Luster worked in, what did he do? He worked in a pantyhose type place.
But I mean,
Hosiery.
but everybody had a job.
Yeah.
And then your granddaddy Duke, or your grandfather Duke, what did
Well,
he do?
he worked at the depot. I really don't know what they did, but back in those days, that was a pretty good job.
So, but everybody, that's what I'm saying. You come from a working group of people.
Yeah.
So you're in high school. What was your favorite activity to do in high school?
RTC.
So you're part of ROTC, so you learned some discipline.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, you took ROTC
To get out of gym.
to get out of gym, but you like I told you, you did more push-ups and all that other shit. You did more physical stuff than you did in gym, but to each his own. I ain't questioning you on none of that, but obviously, because did you ever have to climb the rope or anything, or?
That's I remember.
Okay. So you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So you get out of high school. What are the options for you? Was college an option at that time?
I went to college at St. Augustine, Raleigh, North Carolina. I didn't learn the basics of science and math very good when I was in elementary school. That's why I wasn't able to finish.
So that followed you everywhere.
Yeah.
So not applying yourself in that area followed you.
Right.
All right.
And
So-
then I worked at Craddock and Terry, and then I was at Murder for a short time. That's where I met my husband, Wilbert Higgins-Sparrow.
All right, senior. So you meet him there, and y'all start dating, right?
Yeah.
And he was a car enthusiast, right?
Yes.
Even though him and his buddies would work on him on the weekend, he really wasn't a car mechanic or nothing. He just liked cars, right?
Yeah. They would go to races and different places.
So then that's how you met everybody else in the extended family. How long did y'all date?
About 2 years.
And then y'all got married?
Yeah.
And that was what, 1977 y'all got married?
1979.
All right. So 79 y'all got married.
Yeah.
So you get married then, and do y'all stay in Lynchburg or do y'all move to Maryland or something?
We moved to Nelson. Well, it was in between Nelson and Amherst.
So Clifford Hall, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so out that way. So you was up 29, y'all lived up there, and you stayed there for a good little while.
Wait a minute, I got it mixed up. When we first got married, we lived off the Old Forest Road, and then we went to Amherst.
Okay. So
Nelson County, Clifford, they went.
yeah, so y'all went up there and lived together for a little bit, and then Valen pops up on you, right?
Yeah.
And that you so obviously she born in 84, you got pregnant in 83,
Yeah.
something like that. You have Valen, and then you get another surprise, and almost not even a year and a half later, in 85, right?
Yeah, I had two.
Right. So you got your two kids. He's working at R.R. Donnelly, Murder Birder back then.
Yeah.
And y'all seemingly, you're doing the life as a family. You eventually moved to the suburbs of Candler's Mountain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's Rustburg, basically.
Right.
Because the way that the road is annexed, Lynchburg actually is weird. They stop right before you even get on the hill.
Right.
So, and how'd y'all acquire that house? Was he like what did he do? Was he a real estate agent and found it, or?
Well, I picked it out, and later on he became a realtor and still working at Murder. And to back up a little bit, we lived on a trailer court for about a year and a half, and then we moved into the house on, I forget the street, but it was Rustburg. Knollwood Drive, yeah.
In Knollwood Drive. Address was 272, and then when 911 came in, it became 243 Knollwood Drive.
Yeah.
And you had an amazing phone number, 434-845-3222.
Yeah.
And the reason I remember that is whenever I would give a girl the phone number, right, I go 434-845-1332. Because I'm a smooth talker, so I had to have a good smooth line.
Man.
That's just something funny. Now, Y'all are on Candler's Mountain, and you're living your life. You're working at Liberty, and he's working at O'Donnell, and he's working multiple other jobs. So y'all have a good structure.
Yeah.
Now, y'all have a fight.
Yeah.
You have a fight. A cup gets thrown at him, allegedly.
I threw it up in the air.
And supposedly it hit him or something, or...
I don't think it hit.
Whatever it was, the incident calls for him to go stay at his mother's house for a night or two, right?
Yeah.
So that was the first instance in my life, and I'm telling you this from my perspective, that I saw something that won't right. Like, like a fight. Y'all had an altercation. I don't know how physical it got or not, but I do know that was like I'm just telling you so you'll have this for reference forever.
Right.
That was my first time of seeing two people have a dispute that didn't get settled. And what I do remember as a kid is my dad walked away and he just left.
Right.
And it's probably something that followed me later on in life because I'm not a confrontational person. I'll just go walk away or go do whatever. Now, you personally, you had to take care of us. He
gave me money to take care of y'all.
Yeah,
he still paid the bill.
Right, he made sure everything's taken care of. So he's a good man.
Yeah.
There. Then eventually he come back home after things settled. Now, what was the structure like as a family? Like, what was it like for me being your child, Valen being your child, and Wilbur being your husband? How did that work out in your life?
Very nice,
Okay.
I would say. I mean, he loves his children. Y'all got toys every Friday. Y'all would go to Toys R Us or get something. What I remember with you was jiggly quit.
With the what?
Just to quit.
Okay, so the story there is I was a kid, and I know this very fondly. It was an MC Hammer doll.
Yeah.
Too legit to quit is what you were saying. It was an MC Hammer doll, and it was $20. I'll never forget. It had a boombox and everything with it, and a gold case. I'll show you one after we get done with this interview. And you and Wilbert took me, and he told me if I get this toy, the lights are going to get cut off. He told me that because it was more than, I used to only spend $5, but I really wanted the MC Hammer doll.
Man.
So we get the MC Hammer doll, and when we get home, he turns the lights off. He didn't turn the real power off. He just cut them off in the basement with me. And he said, since you got this toy, play with it in the dark. And I couldn't play with it because it was dark. So I gave it back to him and told him to take it back to the store because we need the lights on. And that was the first time, and I mean later on in life, it was something that I kept with me as a responsibility.
Right.
That, pay your bills first or you'll be in the dark playing with or doing whatever you thought you should have been doing.
In the dark.
In the damn dark. So that's one value. One thing about him, I liked his value and virtue in certain areas. And that's one thing I remember. But everybody remembers me having an MC Hammer doll.
Yeah.
They had a boombox, and it was Can't Touch This was the song. So growing up, what was Valen like as a kid with her?
Valen was kind of quiet. She was kind of self-drawn. She didn't do too much. She just stayed to herself and her daddy.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing. When it was time for Wilbert to go to work and he worked a 12-hour shift, y'all would cry for my daddy, my daddy. It got so bad after about an hour and a half, I would call him back so he could talk to you. It was getting on my nerves. I didn't know what to do.
And now me and you, I ran the road with you though.
Yeah.
Whenever you would rip and run and go places, I went with you and did stuff. And then you had a good weekend life, right? Because on the weekend he would take us with him and go wherever, right?
Yeah.
So you could go clean or whatever you was going to do, right?
Yeah.
So it was a decent dynamic, and we did family time. You took us to church more than he did.
Yeah.
But in his case, he was working, or he would get off from work, and that'd be probably the only day he had off sometimes.
Yeah.
So I get that. So raising us in your brother's church, we went to his church for a good long time.
Yeah.
And that's how I was connected to your side of the family.
Right.
What I'm asking you, because I don't understand this, growing up, I always remember we would go to Darlene's to go eat dinner, right?
Yeah.
But I remember like on a Saturday, we would always do something. We were either in Amherst or Nelson County.
With Wilbert's mother.
Right. We were somewhere doing something with that Sparrow side of our family on Saturday.
Yeah.
They were entangled somewhere. When a Gaither and them would come to town, or if it was something with Ruby, even with Florence and William at that time.
Yeah.
We were all tangled up. You'd have a barbecue or something. It seemed like the fun part of y'all's lives was with the Sparrows.
Yeah.
And the other side of my family, which I have no disregard for them or anything, it seemed like, I don't want to say this in a...
They were too churchy.
They were too churchy, but it felt like it was forced. And I didn't know it until I got older. I felt like it was something you were forced to do.
No, I did it because I wanted to.
I understand it, but I'm saying I think that my dad, I mean, I know he's a good man, but like the Sunday stuff that we would do, it always seemed forced because we weren't even over there very often, very long.
Right.
You're right. But, you know, I got to see Darlene, and Darlene would pop up on a hill. She'd come up here and see us once in a while because she always complained that she wasn't going up 501. She was going up straight up the mountain to come see you.
Yeah.
And you and her had a good relationship. As I remember growing up when she would watch me, you know, because she babysitted me as a kid, she was very structured in how we ate. She wanted to make sure everybody was fed. And if you didn't finish eating, well, you wasn't going to eat. If you didn't eat that food, what she cooked, nothing different. It ain't like the kids now. They got choices. You ate what she cooked, right?
Yeah.
Or you didn't eat at all. Very nice lady, loving lady, too. Loved Pepsi.
Yeah.
Loved them glass bottles of Pepsi.
Yeah.
A whole 8-ounce bottle of Pepsi.
Yeah.
And if you were a good kid, because I'd be good all day, she taught me how to clean and stuff like that, how to dust and everything. You know, she had that good at furniture with the plastic on it, you know.
Yeah.
But she was hard on you. She wouldn't let you let up on you too much sometimes. She would, all of y'all, if I was with her in a day, you know, she had a car phone and everything, so I would hear how she would talk about y'all if y'all was messing up or something. And we won't use and say none of that on here, but we'll just say that she had distinctive names for all of y'all.
Yeah.
Good lady and everything, but, you know, you didn't cross her too much.
No, you didn't if you expect to live.
Right. I would love her to death. Now, you and my dad are married. You got us in Campbell County school systems. Me and Valen went to Yellow Branch.
Yeah.
I had some of your difficulties starting out, if you really remember. I didn't want to tie my shoes. Hell, still don't tie shoes. And y'all held me back, right?
Well, I thought it would be better because you wanted to keep playing. You didn't want to be quiet. You wanted to do what you wanted to do. I told the teacher when you got in the first grade that you would do T1. I already knew, but the teacher had to find out for herself.
So I went to T1.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing you ever did for my life, because it put me back at 1 year, and I want to tell you this. Put me back at 1 year, allowed me to mature. And maybe if somebody had done that with you, you would have got that maturity. In that 1 year that you held me back, I had this teacher, her name was Miss Hammond. I was at the VOTAC. And Miss Hammond specialized in, and I am not going to say I was autistic or even had a learning disability. She specialized in the attention I needed at that time. I love Miss Pearson to death. That was my kindergarten teacher. And you know I got a memory. I can remember every teacher I had.
Yeah.
And what went on with me, she made me tie my shoes. She didn't give me a way to say yes or no, just get it done. And what I learned from her is that some people, and I would end up doing that later on in life, it's a one-way question with me. It's either a yes or a no, and if it's a no, you don't go no further with me. It just stops. Almost like a mule. So I do thank you for sending me there. And then you have Valen. She goes through school, and she really excelled in academics in the early part.
Yeah.
Way better than me. I was a bad kid.
You weren't that bad.
But if I wanted to get in trouble, I'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
You love to take a basketball to school. I would take the ball out of your backpack. You put it back in there. Some days I would forget about it altogether, and you would take it to school. You always brought it back home. But I don't know what you did with the basketball, but the basketball left the house.
Right, well, what it was when I was a kid, they would let us, Miss Ingram would let us go out for PE and play basketball.
Uh,
But when we would go outside for our normal recess, it was like we couldn't get on the basketball court. And I was like, nah. Once I moved it to the back of the school to go play, I wanted to play basketball. Which is crazy because I ended up not even being good at basketball, but I wanted to play. Now, Valen, at that time, she was just an academic student. When I go back and think about her life, it was kind of like she was a little distant, just to me.
yeah.
When she was growing up, was it anything like sports-wise she wanted to do, like in elementary school?
Not that I can remember.
What about any art or anything like that, or singing or chorus?
No.
Nothing at all. Because I know, we'll get up to speed in just a minute. We get up and it's about 92, 93, so we're both moving through school, and there was 3 grades between us. So she's in middle school, and I am in the 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And we get up to 1994.
Yeah.
And we get to March. We were all living a great life, and then our life got interrupted by the passing of my dad, your husband, Wilbert Sparrow. Very unexpected.
Yeah.
And this is where the story, to me, is who made me who I am today. It's who separated you from the person you were before to the person you are now. And it's what made Valen drift away from us completely. Does it sound about right, or how do you
That's about right. I mean, when you were active, you were in the soccer, you worked at a pizza place, I remember.
Well, we're talking about elementary school. We're talking about younger years. We ain't got up that far yet. Wilbur died when I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to tell you from my perspective, he dies, and you're fine for a little bit. You're doing all right. Y'all took care of us because y'all made sure we went to therapy right after he died.
That was Ruben.
Okay. Well, no matter. I went to therapy, and they started talking to me, teaching me about grief. Now, mind you, how in the hell is a kid at my age learning about grief? And I guess that's why I'm the way I am today with helping people and being an active listener. But y'all made sure I was taken care of. All of y'all. Valen was given the same opportunity, but I think she took Wilbert's step harder than you and I.
Yeah.
Now, for you, what happened? Do you think that all of the trauma from growing up and knowing that you had a problem, do you think you just snapped or you just lost it all?
Well, the first year after his death, I was busy trying to do the things that he would normally do. And about a year and a half, it was nothing to do. I didn't go back to work at Liberty, and I had no outlet that much. I wouldn't go nowhere. Y'all didn't want me to get out of y'all's sight during that particular time. So I just rocked in a chair and cried. Priscilla tried to get me to go places to take y'all, but I wasn't ready to move them.
So Priscilla Jefferson, Monique Jefferson's mom.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had people, but it was just you didn't know how to grieve.
Right.
Or how to grieve in your own way.
Right.
So when did this happen that you had this mental breakdown? Because we're going into this part. This is the important part. You ended up having a mental breakdown.
Right.
And was it because it wasn't stress of money or nothing like that, because after he passed away, you come into a great bit of money.
Yeah.
And I would say with getting that money, a lot of people had their hands out and were asking for things, but we'll get to that in a second. But you had a lot of pressure on you because you had got a lot of money, and your house was paid for, correct?
Yeah.
So everything on the outside looked good for you. I mean, even though your husband's did, but basically you had a house paid for. All you had to do was just live, right?
Yeah.
And that became too much for you, right?
I was lonely.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that, but get what I'm saying, and really think about this. Everything minus the husband, you had a perfect life. You were living in the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
You had a car, which you did, and you had everything, but you were lonely. And in your lifespan, you didn't have family members, like you said about this love thing. I think that the love that come from you, that you knew of, was lost when you left home at 4 years old. Like while we're talking right now.
Yeah.
Because the years you grew up with your mom, you love all of them to death, but you weren't first place.
No.
And for only 4 years in your life, you know, you were with somebody, with two people that genuinely gave you the attention, the affection, and things that you needed.
Right.
So you see, you acted out as a kid, and it followed you because you never were able to recapture that love, or you never. Not saying you didn't feel important, but you get what I'm saying. Like it's kind of crazy thinking about it now, right? Like
right.
It's like for 4 years of your life, everything was fine.
Yeah.
And then you get ripped out of your home.
Yeah.
And you know, later on, you have a life and everything. Sorry about that. The phone always goes off. So you have a good life at home with your house being paid for and everything else, but you're lonely. And your loneliness brought on misery.
Yeah.
And that misery comes out with you going out somewhere and you tried to board a plane.
Yeah.
And from that point on, that's when
I went downhill.
You went downhill, and you had to get psychiatric treatment.
Right.
And that's where we found out you were manic depressant and schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So finding out these things in trauma induced from the death, you were hurt.
Yeah.
And you didn't know how to pick up the pieces, and it wasn't truly nobody there to help you pick them up.
Right.
So going off to these different places, Petersburg, Danville, and all these other places, you came back, but you were on Prozac, you were on Ritalin, you were on different type of medicines.
Yeah.
That made you a shell of yourself.
Yeah.
So the old you never came back. You come back as the person you are today, which is fine because you've developed into who Roselyn is 2.0. And we all would do that. If something traumatic like that happened to me, you know, that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
So during the time that you're getting mental treatment and everything, did you eventually grieve?
A little.
All right. So from that point on, me and Valen were juggled around between people.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for the juggling around, I would have lost y'all.
Right.
It was different people like Judy Martin, Alice Carmore,
B, God rest her soul.
B, Marion to a point, Florence a little bit, and the big person that helped was Ruby.
Right. And then in the summer I'd go to Anna Gaze's and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we were well structured. We were taken care of as far as us. But something that happened behind the scenes was a lot of people started putting their hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of that.
Right, you weren't aware of it. And a lot of people took advantage of you. Because all that money that was around, everybody wanted a piece of pie. We won't name no names because it ain't no reason to shame anybody.
Right.
But people took on endeavors with your money and didn't want to return it. Act like you were a burden to them when you needed help. And as I was getting older, I'm telling you personally from my side, I seen it. I seen who did what and I seen who did not do what. And it bothered me as a 6th and 7th grader, as an 8th grader, because I got to do the things I wanted to, but I always had to ask somebody to go do something. It wasn't just because I knew money was there, I figured that I could just go do not what I wanted, but some of the things that I really wanted to do, I couldn't go do because people had started taking the money.
Yeah.
It was a period for a year you didn't have a car. And that period you didn't have a car, I had to get rides back and forth to play sports. You managed it for me for a little bit, but I actually went out and I had high schoolers taking me home. And, you know, you did your best and you did this and that. So we're in high school, or I get to 9th grade, Valen gets to 12th grade. You know, I'm playing sports, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Valen excelled in marching band.
Yeah.
Drum major, doing everything else. But what was the relationship like between you and Valen when she was in high school?
She did more to Judy than she did me.
Okay. And did that cause any resentment for you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. And in between that time, you were trying to find yourself vicariously through men.
Yeah,
And you could never find the love that you had with my father, correct?
correct.
And did that haunt you or did that bother you that another man wouldn't love you the way you needed to be loved?
Back in those days, I would give them a 3 or 4 month period. I was to men like shit through a goose.
Right. You was a pimp out there in the streets with them hoes, right?
I wouldn't say all that, but I did what I wanted to do.
You had them hoes. Everybody had a hoe phase. It's cool. And some of the men took advantage of you, and some of them didn't. You had some good ones.
Yeah.
That one good one. I don't know about that Puerto Rican you had that one time. I ain't gonna say their name, but anyway, you didn't bring them people around us or nothing crazy like that.
No.
If you wanted to go do your thing, you would go away for the weekend.
Yeah.
You was taking dudes on trips to motherfucking Atlantic City. You the reason that I had to start showing out. Like I felt like I didn't know you was tricking back then, but if you got it, you know you did what you wanted.
Right.
So even me in my life, and I'm telling you this, and this is a joke, but it's serious at the same time. When I started getting money like that, I started doing what I wanted. She wanted to come to Atlantic City. Well, guess what? She coming to Atlantic City. I learned that from you. I see you laughing. You ain't laughing too hard. You like, damn, he's trying to embarrass me. I ain't trying to embarrass you, but I learned.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it ain't.
Everybody did what they wanted to do.
It ain't tricking if you got it, right? If you got the money,
Right.
right, do what you want to do. So, and I'll still take that to this grave. That's one thing I give you props for. Like, ain't nobody going to tell me, if I got it, whoever's with me at the time, she got it too. Like the man that was with you or whatever man, right?
Right.
All right, so going on, me and you always had a relationship, even like what we're doing right now. I could come talk to you. You could come talk to me, because you talked to me like I was an adult when you came back.
Yeah.
I'd make you coffee or whatever, and we'd sit talk. We didn't argue very much, because it was either my way or the highway.
Right.
Right? Because I just had to develop that hard skin because I had to grow up. Which, looking at it later, I ain't bitter like them child actors that had to grow up. The only reason I had to grow up was because I had to make sure that the bills got paid.
Right.
I mean, that's all right. I had no problem with that. It made me less responsible as an adult later. Now, Valen graduates high school, and we don't have to go deep into her story. If anybody wants her story, there's a podcast episode they can watch on that, right?
Yeah.
You learn that your daughter has gone from certain personality to a young lady that's out here having sex and eventually has a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And circumstances go on with her for that, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But you're in a household with different people, and the story that we're about to talk about now is the breakup of you and I. Because I left your house after 10th grade.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go into the detail of why I left, but I will say this. I was living in your household, and I felt like the money that was left to me from my father, the Social Security check, I felt like I was taking care of you all. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And by me taking care of the mortgage and this and that, it was a little bit of money left for me to do this and that, but it was a little bit of money to buy groceries. But I'm buying groceries for grown-ass adults, because Valen's out of school, you're not working, and both of y'all Social Security get cut off, right?
Yeah.
And
Yours cut off first.
No, I kept mine. Because I kept mine until I graduated.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ruby took over.
Right.
So I told you after 10th grade, I said, hey, I can't pay your bills no more. And you told me if I'm not going to pay any bills, what'd you say to me?
I don't remember what I said to
You
you.
told me I take your money and leave. And I did leave. Y'all lasted up on that hill pretty long. You had a boyfriend that was pretty good, and y'all managed however y'all managed between you, Valen, and the rest of the clan that was up there.
Right.
But I had to get out of that situation because it wasn't healthy for me. And the one thing I will say, I never disrespected you after that because we've been friends ever since then. But I just told you from that point on, from 10th grade and up, that I got this. I got in a little trouble, went to Beaumont. I was a badass. I come back home. I come stay with you for a little bit. And then I leave.
Yeah.
And
You
then
go to Ellis.
Or not, yeah, I went there. And then eventually I met whoever, the first kid, my first kid's parent, mama. So I was gone.
Yeah.
Valen made certain choices and circumstances for herself
Yeah.
that took her away from us for 20 years.
Yeah.
So the next thing we're going into is the next 20 years between the time Valen leaves till then. Me and you just grew as people.
Right.
You ended up marrying a man. Y'all had a good life until that man put his hands on you.
Yeah, and then I had to go.
Right, and then after that, that was the first time I had to make a trip down there. Between me and you notice he never ever put a hand on you again.
No.
And we'll just say that...
He was scared of you.
Right, well, I'll just say this. I am a very humble and nice person, but if something, goes on with you or Valen or any female, because I respect females over males, because I was raised by nothing but females.
Right.
So, if a male does something wrong, I'm going to knock his ass out, or he's going to get punished. I'm going to abuse him like he abused a female. And I know that's wrong, but I feel that way, even right now. Like, if you get a boyfriend, an uncle, or cousin Hank, or whoever the hell, hit cousin Hank and your boyfriend Tony get in a fight and you get hit, man, both of them getting beat. But that's just because of who I am. You're going to get the shirt off my back, I'm going to entertain you, you're going to have the greatest time of life with me, but you cross somebody I love, I got to double cross you. That's just who I am. Now, you go on through life, you see one of the hardest things that I had to see too. You see your mom die.
Yeah.
When your mom died, that killed that part of your family.
Yeah.
That family, even though we working on it, I stayed away from them until last year. I'd talked to some of them, but we weren't a strong family on your side,
Right.
and I felt later that it hurt you because when you needed people in your corner, I didn't see people in your corner from them.
Not really.
And only when I would show this muscle, that's when people would show up.
Yeah.
Or when I made the phone call that I'll come 4 hours down the road. Or I'll do this or that. I didn't never threaten nobody because that's one good thing about me. I'll never threaten you. But I'm going to let you know if I have to come down the road, it's not going to be good.
Amen.
And I don't want nobody to fear me, but I've always been very honest about that. I'll treat you like gold, but we both know you cross me.
That's it.
That's it. But anyway, so you go through that. You and your new husband divorce or separate. Hell, y'all ain't even divorced. Hell, y'all.
No, we're not.
Y'all separate, and then you have to go live on your own again. So you live Roselyn 3.0. This is the third time you had to start over. So you start over. You get into a place, and you're living there, and you're happy because it's you. You're moving around, but then your health declines right before COVID, right at COVID. You just decided to have a stroke. You had a stroke right at the beginning of COVID. Remember?
Yeah.
So you're locked in a nursing home in Amherst County, Fairmont Crossing or something, right?
Yeah.
So you're there. What was life like being there with COVID?
Well, the people were nice to me, but it bothered me that nobody came to visit me but my worker. But I have to realize COVID was real back then. People were dying left and right.
And I told you straight up because we got on a FaceTime. Remember, I said, man, they ain't even trying to let me leave West Virginia. You know I used to travel everywhere.
Yeah.
And I got to Ohio. I got stuck in Ohio during COVID. And then I got stuck in Virginia and Charlottesville. Each time that they would lift it, I would be able to leave an area or get called to another area. So I ended up, I wasn't even in West Virginia that much during COVID. I spent more time in Ohio and Virginia and Michigan. But anyway, so you get news that Valen is about to come home. You get prepared for that. And you got to deal with me on that because, I'm not selfish or anything. I wasn't greedy, but I'm the only person that you've been dealing with for 20 years.
Right.
So you get Valen home and you're excited, right?
Yeah.
You get your daughter back. And the circumstances worked out to where you were able to have time with her. You got to do things with her. Y'all got a movie called Wicketed that y'all watched together. And lo and behold, I had to watch the second one with you today.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really watch it. I just kept my eye open and went to sleep in my mind. But that's y'all's thing. So y'all like that stuff. And hopefully y'all go sit down and watch the second one. Or if they come out with a third one. Now, you see all your family. And one thing about me, I know that everybody's on borrowed time.
Yeah.
So, this past Thanksgiving, I did force the issue. I said, hey, we need to get back together with these Higgins-Spannells and all this stuff because...
You never know.
You never know. You end up losing your brother Robert in between that time.
Yeah.
And it's just 3 of y'all now.
Yeah.
So, we go do Thanksgiving. It's me, you, Valen, and we'll just say Valen has a different boyfriend every time she's with us. We won't disrespect or nothing. Right. She's a gigolo. But anyway. So we all do Thanksgiving. I see a smile on your face. Me and Stacy are both dead tired because we drove in, drove up. That's a long-ass drive, driving 6 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And then still doing something when you've already driven 4 the day before. And in between this time, none of us know, and unbeknownst to us, is that probably somewhere along the lines, I had a heart attack somewhere.
Yeah.
Because that's where we seen the stress on my heart. You get to 2026, you see me one time in between, because I just travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. And then we find out that my heart failed. I had blockages, and we go through that. What was that like for you?
Well, when Stacy was telling me, I was at Bible study.
Okay.
And I kept quiet. And then towards the end, I said, my son had a heart attack. He's going to the hospital. Back then, everybody stayed close to me to make sure I was all right. I was more concerned about you. I still have that video where you were in the wheelchair, kind of going like that. Every now and then I watch it, and it bothers me.
Yeah, I'd say that was the first time I've been hurt. Something defeated me. And I'm a person, I didn't realize how much I'm my father. I'm not going to let you see any pain on me.
Yeah.
What you saw was the drugs. They had me on all them goddamn drugs. I'm sorry. They had me on drugs, and I was slumped over.
Yeah.
And I probably talked to you more on FaceTime and stuff than that. I talked to you more than I talked to Stacy at that time. She was with me, but I talked to you every day.
Yeah.
And I told you I was going to be fine. I didn't know if the surgery was going to go good. I'll be honest with you. I was a little afraid.
Yeah.
Because I was coming up on, I made it past, I lived longer than my dad. I was like, dang, I'm only going to live 2 years past him?
But what got me it was the same exact month and date that you had your operation.
Right, so
that's what got me.
So I'll clarify that for the audience. It was eerie for me too. I had my operation, my open heart surgery, the same day my dad died, 30 plus years apart. And I was scared I was going to die. I thought they were going to get me on a table and they were going to resuscitate me, put the little plastic tubes and shit into me, and pump the blood, and I might come back for a little bit, and then I just faint and die because I'm tired. But for some reason, Lord willing and everything else involved in the power of prayer from everybody, I lived. Doing halfway decent. You've been with me. You see I can still move. I don't move as fast as I used to, but I still got the power because I got a little bit of devil in me, as I like to always joke about. Keeps me going. But you're here now. You got to see your youngest grandchild graduate from high school. He's a baby that knew you.
Yeah.
He knew you
with the curly hair.
Yeah, when he had the curly hair. And the story on him is that he ended up having to sit with you when your mom was passing away.
Yeah.
And he just light up to you. The innocence of him is what I always try to keep, because we see when he got older, he became a little knucklehead, but he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He did what he had to, he graduated. And with that being said, because of other things that come back from the past, altogether you have 3 grandchildren.
Yeah.
And you're getting to know all of them now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that there's that much, lineage of you running around here. Now, there's another set that don't belong to me that we don't know. But that topic we won't go into or nothing like that.
All right.
But mainly, what has life been like for you now at age 60 what? How old are you?
67.
67.
It's a smooth breeze. I have community. I get out about 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. I go to church right often. I have a worker that takes me anywhere I want to go. He lets me do anything I want to do within reason.
Right. But what's something that's happened? What has happened with friends? How have friends been treating you since the death of my father till now?
Not very good.
What have you learned about friendship, though?
I learned what it's like to have friends, and I know now that I have great friends.
Right. And the lesson I learned from you, and I'll tell you, is that the people you think in your corner are not really the people that are in your corner.
Yeah.
They're only there for an opportunity. So it's really crazy to me, even we're doing this interview right now, like, me and Stacy lead a life of secrecy. People only see what I want them to see. And you see I live a simple, modest life.
Yeah.
I like to watch damn movies. I like to have fun. I'll go play a board game. Everybody knows I play video games. But I don't mingle in other people's stuff. I stay to myself. I worry about you. And I deal with that one and different things like that and other people by a small circle. But what I learned from you is the key core I keep with them. And yeah, I do deal with over 400 or 500 people in a week with work and podcasts and all that other shit. But I learned how to stay centered from you. I learned that at the end of the day, all that hoopla and all I do for those people, all that's going to do is make another valve bust in my heart. So I just take time and I'm like you, I'm steady. I just make sure I'm all right and feeling good when I do things.
Right.
I'm not going to sit out here and go out my way anymore for people that don't. You can sit back, you can fine. That won't do for me. Now, you personally, you got grandkids and you got people that are going to watch us everywhere. What is the lesson in life that you want everyone to know?
That I had a good life. I still have a good life. Some things are a little sad, but the majority of it, I kind of snap back to a percentage where I can hang on. Like I know smoking these cigarettes eventually will cause me to have another stroke if I don't stop. But yet I keep at it. And do something I do.
Alright, so your last thing that I want you to do on a video is this. So everybody that loves you and cares about you and people that did whatever they did, what do you want them to know about Roselyn Lizetter Higgins-Sparrow Cruz III?
I appreciate what everybody did. I have learned now through Jesus Christ not to hold a grudge against anybody. I can't say that I forget everything, but I don't.
Forgive.
Well, I do. I have forgiven a lot of people.
You're a thug. You're better than me.
But a lot of people that I would like to get in touch with don't care to get in touch with me. So I said, freaky deaky.
Okay. Well, I like your motto. I don't want you to ever be like me. I say God forgives. I don't. So go seek Jesus if you need forgiveness. I told you I'm a bad person. But I want to thank you for doing this. And this will be something that people can look on. And it was a thorough interview with you. And this is that new style of interview I'm doing. I call it the Vlad TV.